So for years, Kevin and I have been making these plans to do these hunts, and last year we finally started. We'd been on a few fishing trips together, mostly for work, but we knew we needed to get together and shoot some deer. Last year we went to my home state of Iowa, hunted with my good friend Jeremy. We had a great hunt, had opportunities. That's a tag we waited for what, 4 years to get? Finally drew it, we went, we both came home empty-handed. Now that just happens, we expect that with a hunt, but we knew we had to keep the tradition going. We had just started something that we want to do every year. We went to Iowa, had a great time. Before we left Iowa, we'd planned to come to his home state of Oklahoma in 2020.
Thomas is on the gun next, and I know this is gonna be the most high maintenance hunt of all. It's just gonna happen because, you know, he's got a certain standard of what he wants to shoot. He knows there's not any buck will do.
Now,
The hardest hunt I've ever.
so we have 2 days in the books, and we've got 2 bucks on the ground. I'm up next. I'm batting cleanup, and you know what? My hunt is complete at this point. My son shot the biggest deer of his life. I would love to kill one, but I'll go home with a full heart with lots of memories if I don't. I know how deer hunting goes, and as Kevin said, I did have a certain expectation of what I wanted to shoot.
And the next morning, the very next morning, we were ready to go. This is another one of those situations where you've got to run and gun. I kind of told Thomas where we were gonna hunt, and he kind of looked at me a little bit strange, but he said, you know what? I'm gonna listen to you, and we're gonna go. We are standing out in the middle of the open, something that Thomas does not really like to do. I don't really like to do, but it's actually what you kind of have to do out here.
Well, it's our 3rd day here in Oklahoma. We're being quiet because we're out in the middle of this open prairie. And we're watching from here coming in different directions. It's totally different than what I'm used to hunting. It's sitting up there on top of a boxcar. That's right, for a train. And we're watching this field both times, and there were deer that moved through it as the morning went on. So we're kind of trying to get in position to cut them off as they come out of the green fields that they're feeding in up into this prairie and mesquite. We've been hunting the perimeter of this section, and now we're inside of it, kind of getting more aggressive as we gather more information. So we got a deer headed this way. That morning started out wet, cool, and dark. And this is where I really got pushed. Now, I'm not gonna tell you that I'm the most easygoing person. My wife will tell you I'm high maintenance. Kevin just got done telling you I'm high maintenance. And he's right.
You can take all that out, but I think it's funny. I told Thomas, I'm gonna glass this one more time, and then we're gone. Well, wouldn't you know it? Here comes the buck.
Talk to me.
Was he in range?
Damn it. Dude,
You see him? Move right. He's this way. Right in there.
Tommy, are you looking at the camera at all?
I can't find him.
Let me hear that.
So Dad's buck showed up, and I had a hard time finding him, but a few minutes before he shot, I could see that deer. I couldn't see his rack very well. I was just worried about getting on the deer. And then Kevin helped me. I zoomed out, and then I could see that deer in the frame. And then I told Dad, I'm ready, whenever you're ready.
Kevin is telling me to calm down. He's helping Tommy find the deer in the viewfinder, so there's some in and out. The light isn't that good, and I had a window. I knew the deer had to stop for me to make a shot, and if I didn't make the shot at that point, it wasn't going to happen.
He's coming this way. Okay, he's on the camera, Dad, whenever you're ready. If you shoot.
Hit him.
Done.
Done deal.
Second. Give it a second.
Going down. He's done. We got him.
Hey, I got it. Hey, he was right there. We just got him.
Tommy.
Finally, we can hog hunt.
Oh, guys. He's a cool buck. Yeah. His two's
Did you hear him hit?
Can you believe that?
Wait, was that the 8-pointer we saw yesterday?
It might have been.
If only you'd listen to me.
That's amazing.
Yes, sir. Listen. You think you know. You grow up hunting one way, and you have your preconceived notions, and you travel across the country, and I don't think anybody argue whitetails are whitetails. But when you have some local knowledge and you have a good friend who's keeping you grounded when your head's spiraling and you're going every which direction. This is a team sport. I have my son running the camera. Kevin's keeping me grounded. Kevin's helping Tommy get the camera on the deer. He's helping me get the scope on the deer. We're in wide open prairie in western Oklahoma. I mean, it is, there's like 7 trees within a mile. It's unbelievable, but the thing of it is you can lose them so quickly, and when you're out in this country and walking through it, you really see how they get big here. So that was a real nice 8-pointer. We saw an 8-pointer yesterday just across the road. I'm guessing this might be him. About this time of day, I made a 200-yard shot and drilled him. I mean, you shoot and it was like a second or two wait, whop, you hear the bullet hit, but we watched him go down. I'm ecstatic. We're gonna walk up to him and take a look. I can't thank you guys enough. I need somebody to keep me grounded once in a while.
And this was this was our only plan today.
It is. So the wind today is supposed to pick up into the 20s and 30s.
Now we don't have to experience that.
Now we don't have to worry about it. We're gonna go check this deer out, get him out of here. We might be able to drive him.
Okay.
I like that. It's been an awesome week, hasn't it? What an experience. Such a cool place. Oh, what a cool buck! Oh my gosh. KJ, he's a lot bigger than I thought.
That's
Look
amazing.
at that.
That's awesome.
You talk about ground shrinkage. How about them getting bigger? And the character. He's got an awesome point coming off the front, 2 of them.
It's been in a couple fights.
2's almost come together. I'll tell you what, all across the country, this critter is one of the most popular and most abundant game animal. And it's proven to be time and time again one of the most difficult animals to hunt successfully all around the country. But you really don't know as much as you think you know. At least I'm learning that in this trip, and Kevin was essential to getting us land access and showing us around property he's hunted for many years. And you just don't always know. I was getting a little impatient. I'm asking him to move. We stood there this morning for a couple hours, and just like somebody flipped a switch, I look over and I saw something move. We get the binoculars up and I saw that big side. I saw the tines coming together, and I knew it was a buck I wanted to shoot. I'm thrilled. Just a couple days ago, Tommy shot his biggest deer. It made the trip complete, but to wrap it up with this, an old buck, mature buck with a lot of character, I just don't know how you beat it. Oklahoma, wonderful place. So, there've been a lot of years I've been filming Tommy and Taylor with their deer and turkey hunts, and today Tommy got to pay me back for another one. He was with me by my side. Rolled him out of bed a little early this morning, but I knew that if we got out here, we'd have a good chance. And Kevin rolled me out of the house. I was kind of dragging my feet. It was raining, but I'm glad we went. And we've had an amazing 3 days. Kevin killed a great buck on the first night. Tommy killed an awesome buck, his biggest ever, on the second night. Yesterday was interesting. Didn't get one killed, but we saw plenty. And then this morning, here we are. We're only 4 days in. We're tagged out.
And then when I got up to that buck, and I could tell it was an old deer. His fur was lighter, his body was big, he had ticks all over him, big head also. That rack. And it kind of had that thing, like every time you look at him, he gets bigger every time. It's a hunt that we're never gonna forget.
I joke about being high maintenance, but he has certain standards, and he's a prepared hunter. And that's, you know, when you start thinking about that, I think we all should have a level of high maintenance to us, because that holds us to that standard, and that holds us to what we want to accomplish on any given trip. You know, Thomas and Tommy drove out here from Minnesota. That is not an easy trip. That's not an easy trip on a young man. And they both powered through it. They both experienced some new things, which I think is important for any hunter to grow. When you're talking about going to a different location to hunt, you got to put a lot of trust in who you're going with. And I think these two have learned a lot. They've also taught me a lot too. It's about being there. You've got to be in the hunt. You've got to experience the hunt. And you've got to enjoy where you're going. And always, experience with friends like this is unbelievable.